This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Sorry about that, bro. I didn't have
it's okay.
On with I have to have I have the iPad, but the iPad doesn't have the people on hold. It's the live with StreamYard, and I didn't have it. I had another page out there. My bad.
It's okay, dude. I thought maybe you had typed in. You meant to type in 11:30, and I was like, oh, maybe he's just.
No. That's my screw up. I always take responsibility. When
I know you do. I know you do.
No problem with that because I'm human, and I'm going to screw up. As always, it's kind of like, not kneeling in a game. You're going to screw up. Shit happens. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying? So it's new on the hurricane front this week because we got practice coming up.
Yeah, we got practice starting on Monday, so we'll get a chance to start seeing Cam Ward in action. I'm interested to see what Shannon Dawson does with him. One thing about Cam Ward is, he was the leading rusher at Washington State, ran the ball 120 times, more than anybody else on his team. He threw the ball a ton. Washington State barely ran the ball. That's going to be different with Mario. There's going to be more of a balanced approach. So I'm interested to see, what Cam says about this offense, what Shannon Dawson says about Cam and how he plans to utilize him, because that's going to be an integral part of obviously Miami's success this coming season. I think tight end, we got to get that position sort of back involved. Let's see what happens with this guy, Elijah Arroyo, if he's finally healthy and really ready to go. And then, year 3, bro, like they got to take a step up. And I looked at this the other day and I was stunned. Mario's first signing class when he got to Miami in 2022, he signed 15 guys, not including transfers, but 15 high school / junior college guys. 4 of those guys are already gone, and only 3 of them have become sort of full-time starters. So that's not a very good batting percentage. 3 for 15, right? And one of those 3 guys just left to go to Georgia, Colby Young, the receiver. So 5 of them really have left, and you've only got 2 guys that are full-time starters in Wesley Basaint and Inez Cooper, your right guard. So it's put up or shut up time for those guys going into year 3. So let's see what happens. But, when you talk about progress of a program, those are the big things I'm looking forward to on Monday.
Injury-wise, do they have a long list or it's really like an unknown for you right now?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an unknown because I've heard, Francis Maurinoa, the right tackle, had an off-season procedure done. I know other guys that I haven't been able to confirm but was told that they were having procedures done where they might miss part of spring and come back later in spring. The one thing I will say I've learned from covering Mario and the way he runs his program, if you're an established guy, he wants you to have off-season surgery and not worry about the spring. He will take you back in the summer. Now, will some of those guys come back in camp? I don't know. And that's why I haven't sort of reported some of the things I've heard involving other guys who might be out for the beginning.
What are you hearing about the Canes in the Combine?
Well, listen, I mean, they've got Leonard Taylor. I saw some video of him running yesterday. A guy that was a 5-star recruit. Huh?
Cam Kitchens?
Cam Kitchens is another one. James Williams. They have some talented underclassmen that are NFL type ability, NFL type bodies. I think Cam Kitchens is probably the one guy who's widely regarded as one of the top players at his position, the safety position. I don't know if he's going to be a first-round pick. He may be a second-rounder.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but I think he's the guy that you look at and you say he's probably got the most potential of that group. James Williams physically is a freak, but I think he's an outside linebacker. I don't think he's a safety.
Yeah, I don't think he has instincts.
Right.
Or maybe he just hasn't played it enough, or maybe he needs to kind of develop it. But there was always something like missing with him. Like you knew, like the raw talent was there. Like, holy shit! If you get this Condor playing safety, because I mean he's long, bro. He's like he's like a big ass condor flying around all over the place. So you're like, if you can corral this thing and refine it. Oh my God. But I think it's more what you were saying. Maybe he needs to play in a smaller space and see things in front of him at linebacker might be something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if he's willing to do that and finally get over it, he really, I mean, his final year at Miami is when he finally started to play more in the box in some situations. But if an NFL team can take him and really teach him what he needs to do in those situations and have him cover, tight ends and running backs out of the backfield and get him to play at the potential that he has, then he could be a really, really good NFL player because he certainly has the size and the ability. But again, it's the mentality, right, that separates guys once you get to the NFL. How smart are you? How can you apply yourself to what they're asking you to do? And Leonard Taylor's another one that I think a tremendous amount of ability. For him, it was always effort. Is he going hard? All 40 snaps, or is he taking 15 to 20 snaps off a game? It'll be interesting to see what happens. They'll have some guys drafted. These guys are going to be on NFL rosters. And look, last year, Tyreek Stevenson and DJ Ivey turned out to be pretty good, fits for their teams. So again, it's the question from a Miami perspective is always, when is the head coach going to start to get more out of these guys than the NFL teams do?
I think we've had this. I think I mentioned it to you before, but with Williams, times, unfortunately, dude, you have to go the way of Keith Traylor.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith Traylor started as a safety.
Right.
Moved to linebacker. And then he moved to defensive end, and he ended up at defensive tackle.
Yeah.
From safety. And that's because he already had a frame.
Right.
And then a frame that could then grow and carry more and more weight. And obviously, he must have been big boned enough that he could carry even more and more weight. And I'm not saying Williams is going to end up at defensive tackle, but I think you have read it perfectly. He will eventually end up at end. And maybe linebacker or a pass rushing end on a 3-4 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those.
I've been saying this since he was a junior in high school. I've been saying this since he was a junior in high school when I watched him play. I thought, and that was the problem. I think, college coaches have this dilemma now where they want the talent on their roster and they don't want them to go elsewhere, right? And especially here at Miami, you have that pressure to keep the kids at home. Right. But then you never really get through to the kid and tell him, hey, this is where you're going to be best served playing. Right. And we saw it with, Devin Hester, right? He was such a tremendous talent. He comes to Miami. They could never really figure out a spot for him. And I don't know, man.
The opposite of that is Chicolo.
Right.
That the kid, they misused him. They put him where he didn't belong, and they hurt his draft status also.
Oh, yeah.
On top of all of that. So, it goes both ways. And you can understand sometimes the trepidation from the player. And then you can also understand, the what the coach is also seeing, because he might be right. Because there's a lot of guys that, I believe was it Warren Sapp that came in as a tight end?
Yep.
It was, right? Tight end.
Yeah, he came in as a tight end.
Hey, we're going to move you over to defensive tackle. Okay. Up in the Hall of Fame and a lot of money. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's rock out.
That was Jimmy's mantra, right? Turn safeties into linebackers, linebackers into edge rushers, and edge rushers into D tackles.
The pedophile protector.
Paterno. Yeah.
He wanted Kelly, but he wanted Kelly to play linebacker.
Yep.
And Schnellenberger said, no, Jim, you can come here and play quarterback for us. No, we get
right.
it. It's a tale that's been going on forever. What a coach sees in you, what you see in yourself, and then, two worlds collide, and then we don't know who wins, and we don't know who loses until after that we figure out, oh, fuck, they screwed up Chicolo. Wow, what a call on Warren Sapp. Holy shit. That's the kind of stuff that happens that, those are other stories that's an article to be written, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good off-season story. You're helping me with ideas now. Appreciate it.
That's a good one, because I don't think a lot of people what's his name? Oh my God. The Bears drafted him. He came out of South Carolina. a defensive end. Oh my God, he was a. I'm sorry, he's a receiver that used to be a defensive end in South Carolina. The Bears drafted him as a wide receiver. He came into South Carolina as a defensive end, and they made him a wide receiver. I'm brain farting in his name, but I remember the Bears.
What decade is this?
This is maybe 12, 15 years ago.
Okay.
And big kid, right? And a lot of people never knew that he got recruited to South Carolina as a defensive end.
It's going to hit us when we're off air, by the way. You know, that's when we're going to figure it out.
Marty Booker. Thank you.
Marty Booker.
No, it wasn't Marty Booker. It wasn't Marty Booker. Marty Booker didn't. No. It wasn't Marty Booker. It was, damn it, bro. It was somebody else, not Marty Booker. He went to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You have it there, Sean? Can you tell me? Because we didn't get him here. I forgot his damn name. But anyways, the guy, you know, this is the kind of story that goes on all over the place throughout the history, and that's where, you know, sometimes it kind of gets interesting because sometimes you make a guy's career, and sometimes you can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
You end up ruining it. Like there's a guy by the name of Richard Williamson. He is the guitarist for Kansas. He's one of the founding members. He's still with the band. And when he was in high school, he badly wanted to play the trumpet. That's what he wanted to do. And his problem was he sucked at it. And so his music teacher says, you don't have the lips for it. Let's give you a guitar. The rest is history. The guy became rich and famous, and you know, and everybody loves "Carry On My Wayward Son." He came out with a lick that everybody loves. So you know, shit happens by accident at times. He wanted to be a trumpet guy, and he ends up becoming a rock star, rock guitarist. You know,
Sam Shields is another one I just thought of. By the way,
there you go. What do you got? Give it to me.
Alshon Jeffrey.
That's the guy.
That's it. Alshon Jeffrey. That's the guy. Alshon Jeffrey was recruited as a defensive end to South Carolina, and they made him a wide receiver. That's an odd one, bro.
Gregory Rousseau is another one, by the way.
That's right.
Gregory Rousseau was a receiver coming out of high school in Champagnat, and Manny Diaz said he's a defensive end. We're going to make him a defensive end, and that's what he was.
Our boy from the tackle, was a tight end. That was the NFLPA guy, the really smart guy. Well, linemen are usually smart.
Yes.
What's his name, bro?
Eric Winston.
Eric Winston was it. We got him as a tight end here, and they made him a left tackle, and the rest is history for Eric Winston. You know, all time, dude. Happens all the freaking time, good and bad, unfortunately. All right, what do you got going on now in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Well, I'm driving back from Bradenton, you know, IMG Academy. I was there last night for their pro day, and you know, big story in college football, obviously.
Pickleball pro day, you're there. IMG.
I wish it was pickleball pro day, brother. I wish. I've been itching to play. I haven't played in 24 hours. But no, they had their high school pro day, and by the way, there is an 8th grader. This kid, I mean, he is 5'9", 170 pounds. He runs a 4.5, and he's in the 8th grade. Oh, this is an 8th grader. Eric McFarland, be a name to follow the next few years. He's on the national team. He's going to be a freshman in high school this year, this coming season in the fall. That is a guy to watch. 2028. So you talk about these young prospects, phenoms. This guy might be the next Tyreek Hill or who knows what. But
it's not Booger's kid, right?
No, it's not. No. Booger's kid could not run that fast, I'm guessing. But he looks like Booger anyway. But no, I wrote an article this morning on, you know, so much of college football now is the Big Two, right? The Power Two conferences, SEC, Big Ten. I talked to a lot of the recruits about that, like how much it's maybe affecting their thought process. The fact that, you know, the majority of the playoff spots, the majority of the money, the whole power shift of college football. So you want to read about that. You want to read about some of IMG's best players. in the next 2 recruiting classes. Everybody in the country goes to that school to recruit. And Miami's actually in on a couple guys. A 5-star offensive tackle in the 2026 class, Kenye Pepe. He's 6'8", 298 pounds. Oh, this is an offensive tackle. He's 16 years old from California. Miami, I think, is in a very good standing with him. And then Gavin Nix, who's 6 foot, 230 pound linebacker, who is just diesel. I mean, he looks like it's like an NFL linebacker with his shoulders and muscles. I think the Hurricanes have a real good shot with him. So you want to read that article? That's the latest stuff I posted this morning.
And follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, subscribe there to The Athletic. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend.
You too, brother. Take care.
You got it. And, of course, we were at Caneswear yesterday, day before yesterday, broadcasting live. And you could go to caneswear.com. If you order over $99, you'll get free shipping, ladies and gentlemen. So check it out at caneswear.com. If you use our code BIG010, you will get 10% off. How about that? So you got an opportunity to get free shipping over $99. You got an opportunity to get 10% off when you use our code BIG010. Anything with the Canes logo, stuff with Dolphins, Inter Miami, Heat, Panthers, you name it, they got it all there. Every team in town, they've got it. Go to caneswear.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.